thank you, Secretary Moomin, for coming to visit Forbes today and taking the time to answer a few questions.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm so happy to be here, and this has thus far been a great experience. You have great leadership, great teachers, great staff, and of course, great students here in the building. I got to meet some parents today, so thank you for having me.
So how many schools have you toured this year?
Oh my. Well, I'll look at it this way. There are 500 school districts in the Commonwealth, and we are moving throughout different counties. So I lost count of the schools, but I've been all over the place, at least to 30 counties thus far, 30 or more counties, and visiting schools this year.
What are some exciting things you saw about our school that makes it unique?
Oh wow, that's a great question. There are a lot of things to talk about, so I'm going to try my best to be succinct. First of all, the makerspace. The makerspace is great because it empowers students to be able to have the opportunity to have their ideas come to fruition on their own time, which is great. Secondly, got to engage with the kindergarten class, and we were working on a technology-based program that was dealing with phonics, which was excellent, and it was student driven, which was great. The teacher and the aide that was in the classroom, they were facilitating learning. These young scholars were on the computer getting it done, getting through their activities. I must say I'm a fan of the automotive program and what I saw there. And the two gentlemen that explained everything, I like the diversity of the type of machinery I saw, from up-to-date engines and big trucks to an old 350, a 350 that comes out of a 57 Chevy. And to have these young men to be able to take me through the different specifications, the different ways to fix and analyze a problem was awesome. I had the opportunity to get into an event. It was where we had students up on a panel, and I don't quite remember the name of the event. But when we walked in, they were having a competition on coding, which was exciting. And it was very exciting to see, especially the young ladies that were there getting excited about coding and ready to go and win the competition. So there are a lot of things that I saw today that has been inspiring.
All right. What type of schooling is required for your job?
Well, I think that it depends. But my position is one where I'm appointed by the Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro. So, as a governor appointee, the governor can appoint an educator, a philanthropist, a businessman, a bureaucrat, whomever he wants to. I believe that I was selected for this position because of my history in education. So, I started out with associate's degree from a 2-year school, Northeastern Christian Junior College, which was in Villanova. Shippensburg University, one of our PASHE schools. That's where I received my Bachelor's of Arts and my English teacher certification. Penn State. I was Penn State for my master's in curriculum and instruction. And I did my doctorate at the University of Pennsylvania Educational Leadership. So I had expansive experiences within education, but they're not required. They're not required. I believe that Governor Shapiro, along with my experiences as a teacher, a dean, an assistant principal, and superintendent in various areas, rural, suburban, and urban, he had great confidence in appointing me to the position because I'm able to speak to education in those 3 different settings.
So what are the biggest priorities in public education today?
First and foremost is fair funding. And I'm talking about looking at education within the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. The governor has a bold, audacious funding proposal, which we at PDE, Pennsylvania Department of Education, we support. It is an over $1 billion investment into the basic ed funding formula. So I'm not going to go into all the details of the BEF. However, what I can tell you to be, which is extremely practical, it will help Forbes Road. You know, the numbers will help Forbes Road, whereas, you know, these great programs that I was able to witness today, this should be something that is consistent and sustainable. And for it to be sustainable, you need funding and you need resources, and you have to continue to be able to hire highly qualified educators. Funding is the major thing here in the Commonwealth to be able to even the playing field. So for example, and I'm getting a little long-winded, when I looked at many of the programs today, it was exciting to walk into the program, and let's talk about the makerspace. And when you think about the makerspace, I can say, you know what? That makerspace is in Forbes Road. However, I saw a makerspace like that in Lower Merion, and I saw a makerspace like that in Council Rock, and I saw a makerspace like that in Pittsburgh. You want to be able to even the playing field for access, so students like yourself will have the freedom to chart their own course of success. And what you're working on here is universal.
I'm sure many people will be happy about that.
Yeah.
So what challenges do you see in public education, and how do we combat them?
The challenge again is access. You know, as we are pushing high standards and quality pedagogy and instruction, it doesn't matter if the students don't have access to innovation and access to programming, access to highly qualified teachers. You have to, it plays back into the funding piece. You have to be able to have these resources. For example, when we talk about the 500 school districts in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, 367 of the school districts, 368 of the school districts have a funding gap. 368 out of 500. It has to be flat. We should have no districts in the Commonwealth with access gaps and funding gaps, and Forbes Road is one of them. So we have to be in a position where we even the playing field, so that this is not simply a 500 school district phenomenon. This is a Commonwealth phenomenon where we're working together to build the workforce of the future.
Thank you very much for your time, and thank you for coming to spend some time with us here at Forbes Road.
My pleasure. It's been an exciting visit. I'm just so humble and thankful that we were able to get out here and really view many of the programs and engage with the professionals and engage with the students. This is my saying, because I saw a lot of slogans here, but this district is small but mighty. Small but mighty. And small should not be a barrier to access to funding, programs, pedagogy, instruction. It should be no barrier. So you're small but mighty. Because what I saw here today, I've seen it throughout the Commonwealth. And so it's very exciting and inspiring. The future is bright. So thank you so much for having me here.